I met a gypsy.
How's it been having Bam on the team? He's been there a while now.
Yeah.
Like that seems like a really cool, happy place for him to be. Yeah.
He's been struggling with the bikes the start of the year, but I think we're back on track here. But it's been rough. It's always hard when you go to new bikes and new frames, and I do feel like, just being honest here, that sometimes they get a lot of testing in for the outdoor over there in Austria, but we don't get much supercross testing.
Yeah.
And then and that's why they have factory teams. They give it to us and say, hey, adjust this thing, make it work. But sometimes it doesn't work right out of the, just like Formula One does with Ferraris and stuff. Sometimes the last year's car is better than the new car. So then your job is to get all the bugs out of it and, start. We're working on today. I was working on the new limited edition bike for next year, so. Luckily, I just get to do the graphics, so that makes it a little bit easier. But, they're showing me the plastics, and I'm like, man, I think you guys should have changed the corner here and maybe beveled this a little bit, But they are getting some of the new technology on the plastic is amazing, and like they're putting the decals now into the molds, and end molding the plastic after the decals are in there. So now it's wrapping all over the curves and making it really slick. It almost looks like it's hand painted,
Yeah. Yeah, no, it is crazy. I saw at the team launch this year, seeing the bike for the first time, I was like, wow, it's pretty incredible. That's the detail that they can get into these plastics now.
Yeah, it's amazing.
I wonder, I've never thought of it, but why is there no Supercross track in Austria? And they have some high-level guys that just are over there doing the development in parallel with the motocross stuff. Because you're right, like they're developing everything for motocross.
Yeah, it's weird too. I say the same thing. Even like we used to, when I first started painting helmets, I used to go to Japan to watch Supercrosses in Japan. It was big, and the new sponsors come in. Kodak would be in there, and Sony would be in there, and that kind of fell by the wayside. And I always thought, it's weird how big Supercross is here, but it's not in Europe and not in Japan anymore. And I think that's something that's got to change. I think it'd be really cool to. I mean, I know they do Bercy, but it'd be cool if they did. But our guys do a lot of racing too. I mean, when you really think about it, I was talking to Pitt Beyer about it. He's like, man, the MotoGPs. I think what is there, 18 or something, or
20, 21 now.
Yeah, 21. That's a pretty big season, and he was saying really that we don't really give our guys enough time off.
Your guys are doing 31.
Yeah, that's a lot of first turns. That's a lot of qualifying.
Yeah,
and it's a lot of practicing during the week. I mean, our guys they're on, and then they go over and go, we're gonna do Bercy, or we're gonna do. That's why that's why Trophy to Nations. It's like, Troy, I need a break, man. I'm burned out.
No, the schedule thing, I mean, I was definitely very vocal about, like, these guys do too much. Like, it's insane what they're asked to do. But then when you hear that the new deal with Peacock, like the $7-8 million deal that they got, was like contingent on them doing more races.
Yeah.
It's like, fuck, what's the answer then? Because it's like, if the money that's coming in to support the sport, and, that went back in. A lot of guys made a lot of money towards the end of last year.
Yeah.
But it's like, that's a hard balance to strike. But I agree, 31 races is way too much.
Yeah, and they're just, I mean, I think definitely one of the gnarliest sports,
Yeah.
It's so easy to twist an ankle or break a wrist or collarbone, or, we've been through it so many times, just we're going, like, I mean, God, what was it, last year? We moved into second in points in Supercross, and then Barsha broke his collarbone 15 minutes later. It's like, oh.
Well, SMX at LA, he was riding fantastic.
Yeah.
One mistake, and that was huge.
Yeah.
Like, that was such a violent crash.
Yeah.
And then that chases him around for months.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, it's hard to avoid. But I mean, I think that maybe they could do. I get flamed when I say it, but like, I'd love to see, just give the 450 guys like a couple weekends off and have, like, imagine how cool it would be to have like 2 lights class main events, both coasts, like make those guys main stage, or one of the East-West shootouts is like, you have the heat race is essentially like a West Coast main and then an East Coast main, and then the main event is like the East versus West. Like I think you're also like investing in the next generation of the sport too, you know?
Yeah.
But there would be a lot of people that I guess the risk is that Feld would not want to risk people not going to support not the main guys and not see Eli Tomac, not see Jet Lawrence.
Yeah. The other thing is too is when they decide to do these new things, even if it's us racing like at Glen Helen a couple of years ago, 3 or 4 years ago, we did the GP there, but it's as a team owner, you kind of go, whoa, I didn't know that we need to start a month in advance. And, you know, then we're trying to figure out the rules of what they're doing at the MX GPs, you know, okay, this is the fuel we got to use. Okay, this is we got to make the bikes quieter. So there's a whole bunch of, and it also burns out the mechanics too, because they're going, dude, we're racing Supercross or we're racing outdoor nationals and we got to get ready for this GP that they're going to run, you know.
We're excited to announce the launch of our new membership site, gypsytales.com, packed with exclusive content and perks that you won't find anywhere else. This is your chance to become a part of the Gypsy Gang. And as a special bonus, if you sign up to an annual membership, you'll be entered into the draw to win our custom-built TC125. Gypsy Gang.